Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Welcome, welcome. We have some seats. Who's back? He's not back. He's been here already. Oh! Shalom Aleichem. Wow. Choshev guest. You should know, I just asked Yosef for your phone number 2 days ago. Ask him. Did he tell you? He didn't tell you. Here's a picture of Elchanan learning with his son, Torah. My name is Shlomi Bloch. I've been following Reb Eli Shir for a long time. I attended the Shiurim Shar Chesed led by Yechiel Lupiansky. Here's an interesting video. It was just filmed right now, 1:36 at Ben Gurion Airport. Here we go. Yeah. Now, Rabbi Yosef, we've been searching for a Rosh Koilel for my new and upcoming Koilel Chazor Sashatz. My other Rosh Koilel, the Chazan who was learning during being a Chazan, he turned down the job. So now, Baruch Hashem, I found a new candidate. Somebody sent me a picture. He doesn't know, but this Tzaddik he's a hatzlacha guy, and I guess it's hard to find time to learn. So here we go. Here he is. I think this is in Miami. It seems like he's learning during Chazar Shashatz. I don't know. I'm just saying there's some guys in the background over there, like with the talis standing. He has his piece in his ear and steiging away. So maybe we could interview him as the new Rosh Koilel Chazar Shashatz. But besides that, no, it's very nice that he's learning. I have no idea. Maybe davened already somewhere else. Who knows? I wasn't going to read this email, but the last words of the email is this is more of a private email. Maybe I'll skip the whole thing, Taka. I want to share a remarkable experience that truly moved me. I couldn't think of anyone better to share with you than with you. I walked into a local insurance broker's office for Mincha the other day, expecting a typical boardroom setup, a glass table, maybe some sleek tech. To my surprise, I found something profoundly different. See attached. I forgot to put the picture in. The room was filled with Sfarim. The table wasn't just a meeting space, it was strewn with Gemaras. They explained that the business halts every day, mid-schedule for Torah learning. Moments like these remind me of the quiet revolution we're witnessing, whether it's a Gevir rejuvenating Torah, a Balabas, faith in the or asking reprogramming minds through a new empire of inspirations. Generations truly has changed. It's a changed generation. Learning Torah isn't just achievable, it's become cool. Bekitzer, I envy you the zechus, Gershi Rose, but this is the key. See you in Connecticut. So I was thinking that it's literally the five of us are going to be there, right? It's mishpacha. It's once a year. I think this is the week for the shluchim, yeah. It's once a year where everybody that's doing the same thing gets together, the ganze mishpacha together. It's unbelievable. So you're gonna see Gershi. Last week, I thought that Dov Harris wasn't gonna come. He said he can't come. And then Erev Shabbos, he told me he's coming. It made my Shabbos different. Every single person, if they don't come, it's a miss. It's a miss. Dear Belly, I was moved to hear your touching story. Oh, let me just show you this. I'll remind you the story real quickly. Everybody knows the story, but it's kedai to see one more time because Ariel put a short together. It's very cool. Just to explain it, we were in Medanik, and at the gas chambers, Rabbi Shapiro said over the story. So there's a clip of us. If you see Benny and myself and Avi, whatever, it's because we're standing by the gas chambers. We're all kind of crying. And Rabbi Shapiro, when he comes in there and he says, because there was a guy, he was on a flight, and he sees the Yid next to him eating real treif. He went through the whole ghetto and everything with all the tsar and everything that happened. And literally on the last day, he saw them shoot his family, his son, his wife, the whole thing, and it's all over. Many years later, this Kirov guy is walking to Shul on Yom Kippur, and he sees this Weinstein guy. So he goes over and he says, Weinstein, it's Yom Kippur, let's go into Shul. No way. He says, you told me about your son. What was his name? Yisrael Menachem. Let's go into Shul, let's make a Kel Mully. You never did a Kel Mully for him. One Kel Mully on Yom Kippur. He says, okay. Throws a cigarette, and they go down the Shul. Kel Mully, whatever. And this Weinstein guy is getting very emotional. Comes to the time to say the name. He says, he starts shaking. And the Chazan goes, Chate! And he faints. Chazan was his son. What happened was that the mother, when they were shooting, she jumped on him and they shot the mother. They didn't get him. And he didn't know it for all these years. So this guy sends me an email. I was moved to hear your touching story about Kasriel, the child who was saved during the Holocaust, and how his father found him in Kippur with great appreciation to you and the entire team. For 1,237 days, Baruch Hashem, Kasriel Kantarovich. So Kasriel Kantarovich, no relation, I think, to this guy, but it was unbelievable. I don't know if you remember, we were here I don't remember what Tzima was, maybe Chagiga, one of those. He was the Messiah. He was in his 30s, maybe early 40s, and he said this is the very, very first time he's ever making a siyum. It was a moving siyum. And since that siyum, I haven't really seen him that much. He's here in Eretz Yisrael, Kasriel Kantarovich. Alavai should come to one of the shiurim. And he's saying he's been with us for 1,237 days. So, wherever you are, this is interesting because it sounds funny, but I see even, okay, I'll get there, you'll tell me if it's funny. Shalom Avracha, the esteemed Rebbe, the Honorable Eli Stefansky. A few months ago, I heard about the Daf Yomi class in English. I genuinely envied English speakers for the privilege they had of learning the Daf in such a clear and pleasant way. A few weeks ago, I was searching for Daf Yomi class and discovered that you also deliver it in Hebrew. From that day on, I started my day with a shir. As soon as I arrive at work, I open my computer, and while working, I watch and listen to the shir. On Sundays, I even watch for close to 3 consecutive hours. To be honest, over the past few years, I've barely learned any Gemara or even any Torah subjects. Every time I tried to establish a learning schedule, it wouldn't last more than 2 days. But now I've been consistently following the shir for 17 consecutive dafim from Bava Basra, Daf, Kuf, Lamed, Tes, without missing a single one. It's a tremendous thing, but look what he says. The shir has simply changed my life. It's 17 days. Halavai. Keminyan Toiv. Thank you so much, entire MDY team, for making the daf accessible to everyone. Binyamin Yadwood, something like that, Yerushalayim. This is his place of work. He watches the shir during work. And this is an amazing picture to me. We see it never gets old. A guy on a flight holding his baby. You know how it is. The baby doesn't stop crying, the earaches and the whole thing. And you're sitting there and like you're hoping he doesn't wake up. But he's chapping a video, and he writes over here. Also, to a flight to Miami, I was able to make up the shiurim of Sukkos instead of watching videos. Yesterday, I called up Noam to tell him that I have a tremendous hakaras hatov to Rebbitzen Stefansky. Yesterday was a full house. There was maybe 4 or 5 people standing in the back. Not a single seat available. Tremendous. And the fact that people send in these emails, they share their life stories, it gives me a lot of chizuk. Chizuk, it's to prepare every single day. Every day you need chizuk, every day, and it's a big chizuk to see a full house. People came, a guy drove from Harish from 4:30, he says he was in the car already at 4:30 in the morning. It's a chizuk. So he said, no, you have to tell the Olam that you appreciate that you have hakaras hatov on Thanksgiving. The Olam, no, Bemes, no. Every day is Thanksgiving. Every day is Thanksgiving. And that's my way of, I have to say that when I lived in America, I used to put up a flag on my house. I said, I have hakaras hatov to the American government for allowing Yidden to learn Torah, to build shuls, to build schools. One of the best times, kufas in all of history. Hakaras hatov. Later on, I found that Rabbi Victor Miller spoke very, very harshly about people that ate turkey. He said it's a pagan holiday, it's osur. He said it's Isidore rice, the whole thing. So I don't know if he had such a big thing about the flag. I'm not going that. I'm not an American. I didn't even know it was Thanksgiving yesterday. That today, I told Yosef, I said we should do a Black Friday special on the hotel we should take off $5. He's masking. Okay. Black Friday special on the hotel. But of course, I talk to the Refuah Shleimah every day. But I'm going to share with Oil. I appreciate that you guys come every single day, give me chizuk. I appreciate that you watch every single day online. Appreciate that you share your stories with me. Mamish, the firefighters and the this and the every day it's another mice, another chizuk. It doesn't. How you guys made this up together? You just started all of a sudden. Give me your love, give me your love. Give me your love, give me your love. And a tremendous ishkoyach to Howard and Dina Safe for donating. Saif, for donating. Is everything okay over there, sir? I hear you. And Howard and Dina Saif for donating $10,000 towards the Shabbaton, Yeshua Koyach, and here he is. He's under the $10,000. No, he's in there. He's number 3 from the top. Shkoyach. The coil of the day, Third Wheel Ventures. Interesting. Third Wheel Ventures. Look it up. I don't know what that is. The Masechta for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parnassa B'revach and Zechraya ben Moshe, Chaya bas Yosef. Parnassa Kidnovations LLC in honor of my uncle Rebbitzen Pressman, who I don't know. Did I even mention him? Look, he's in here. You see that? He's in small. That's why. On the 10,000 page, here he is. Kidnovations. He's going to be at the. You're going to have to figure out who he is. He's going to be at the Shabbaton. In honor of my uncle Rebbitzen Pressman and Fishel, it should be his zechus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga and shidduch for Rivka Yehudit Chaya. And I think if Rebbitzen Stefansky was selflessly giving up her husband for the klal, it should be his zechus for a year filled with Mazel, Bracha, hatzlacha, Parnassa B'revach and Refuah. Parnassa Yosef ben Chaya, Sara for Parnassa B'revach. Parnassa Tzvi Spero. Refuah Shleimah, Itamar Ephraim ben Chaya. Yesterday, Shalom Aleichem. How you doing? What's your name? Where are you coming from? London. Shalom Aleichem. Very nice to have you here. After this year, a guy that I didn't say hello to because we had like 8 guests yesterday. He was number 9 or 10, and he came over and he says, "I've been doing this year with you for 4 years." So after I gave him a shout out to the Olam who was here by Shachar. It's 4 years. I didn't even say hello to him. First time here. How long are you doing this year with us? A week? Since Sukkah. That's a long time. That's also like 3 years, no? How long is that? Shalom Aleichem Tzaddik. Wow. Tzvi Spero Refuah Shleimah for Itamar Ephraim ben Chaya. Parnassa Refuah Nefesh and go for Breina Bina bat Miriam Bela or a Bracha bat Breina Bina Netanel Kalev ben or a Bracha. Parnassa Refuah Shleimah for Yosef Chaim Shmuel ben Alta Nechama from his grateful family. Parnassa Hayoy Mordechai Sapaznik again. L'zech Nishmas my great grandfather, my namesake. Rav Mordechai ben Rav Aaron Rabin Zechus Al-Gevrochi. He was a direct descendant of the Baal Shem Tov Zatzal. May be a Mazel for the entire Mishpach and all of Klal Yisrael. This is interesting. He went back to his original name, Philip Byrne. What does he call himself now? Pinchas. In honor of the birth, he didn't like it, I guess. In honor of the birth of our new grandson. No, Sheva Yipol Pinchas Vikam. Yisrael Leib Byrne, see you at the Shabbaton. He's also going to be somebody from Chicago. Finally, is coming to the Shabbaton. Parnassa Yoim, Yosef Rabinowitz is. I hope Reb Zalman Torsky is coming to Shabbaton. Anybody know? That was Gishmak when he was there. Yosef Rabinowitz, Rachel Bas Cyril Chaya, Refuah Shleimah. Art of the month for zechus for Rebelli and the whole MDY staff to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Boy, it's a Gewaldige Daf today. Question. Lo Yaleinu. Here, I'll show you the picture. We're going to be talking about it today. So here's a picture of the famous Surfside. Terrible, terrible tragedy. Many Yidden, from Yidden in that pile over there. So here's a real Shaila Negela Maisa. You hear screaming come from the top of the rubble. You yourself can't lift anything there. You have these slabs of concrete that weigh thousands of pounds. You got to get a heavy equipment, Caterpillar, whatever they're, not the D9s, but whatever. You got to get one of these. You know, and they tell you that by you bringing the D9 and the Caterpillar up the pile, you are going to crush live people in the rubble. It's just a fact. Are you permitted to crush live people to get to the people on the top where you know you're for sure going to save them? But if you don't crush those other people, they will die anyway. There's no way they're going to survive. And those people that you could save, you won't be able to save. It seems like an obvious answer, right? It's a trick question. It's only trick because I think that the answer might be different what you think. What is everybody thinking? You say yes? Who says yes?
Save the people.
But you're killing people. Biyadayim. What? Might not so. Okay, yeah.
There was a famous story of the second Gaza war with the Rebbe Yosef.
That what?
Where a grenade is thrown into, there's two rooms full of soldiers, where the grenade is thrown into one.
And they called up Rebbe Yashiv in the middle?
No. They asked
Okay.
Rebbe Yosef, who would be, is it okay to throw it into the room with the blessed people? There's a famous story about that.
Okay. It's part of the question, my chazid don't assume faith, etc. The answer is, I believe, and don't paskin if this chas v'shalom is a situation, you should ask your local rabbi, but they say that it's mutter. Yeah. The halach would be, I know people are rolling their eyes, they can't understand. A lot of people understood. Fine. No, a lot of people there, says no. But you're killing, biyadayim, you're literally killing people to save another person.
Whether you're killing anyone, it's about it to save them.
Okay.
So you don't know. It's not about that. You don't know for sure.
In Makar of the Misa, it's Chaya. What they're saying is it's Chaya. It's only a few moments of life versus.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, but then the child is, how do you know for sure? Maybe they'll be able to crawl out. I don't know. Okay. Rabbi Yosef?
These are like the shadows of Pressman in the Holocaust.
No, yeah, okay, I hear it. I get it.
It's like the sefer on the Holocaust, about shadows of Jews in the Holocaust. There's a sefer there.
Yeah.
Shadows of Jews in the Holocaust. This is the kind of sefer.
This is kind of
that's shadows, not
okay. Rabbi Yosef, this is what we had yesterday. It's very simple, very, very simple sugi. We're going to the Mishnah and it'll take us literally 10 seconds. This is what we had yesterday in the Mishnah. We had the famous concept of shchivera, mitzvah machmas misa, that a person who's dying, we gave him a special halacha that if he just says it with his mouth, that he wants to give his belongings to somebody else, it works. Whereas in the whole Torah, you have to make a kinyan, you have to make a mashiach, akbah, sudr, something. Over here, just talking works. Why? Because he's dying. Then comes Rebbe Lazar, says there's no such thing. I don't believe in that whole thing. That was the other Mishnah. Rebbe Eliezer says something in between in the Mishnah. He says in the Mishnah that yes, speaking works, but only on Shabbos. Just on Shabbos. During the weekday, you have the ability to write it down, to write a shtar. Why speak? Why use that kind of heter? There's no reason to use the heter. Rabbi Yeshua says, like we saw until now, speaking for shchivmerat, mitzvah machas misa, shchivmerat, whatever it is, works every day of the week. That's not going to change for us right now. Yeshua throughout says, like we know until now. So the Gemara brings the shita of Rabbi Meir, and if you look, he says that Rabbi Eliezer says something different, the opposite. Just the right bottom corner. That speaking on a weekday works, speaking on Shabbos doesn't work. The reason is because it's the famous concept of kol haroi lebid la with a lamid works. In other words, if I could do it, I could mix the mincha, then I don't have to mix the mincha. But if it's so much flour where I cannot even mix it, then you have to mix it. In other words, if you're able to do it, then we're not so makbid that you do it. But you have to be able to. So if you're able to speak and write on a weekday, then speaking works. But if I can't do the kinyan on Shabbos, why? Because you're not allowed to write on Shabbos, then speaking doesn't work either. And then the Gemara is going to tell us, so our Mishnah obviously doesn't line up very well with Rabbi Meir, because Rabbi Shua we're not worried about. Everybody says that Rabbi Shua says the same thing. But in Rabbi Eliezer, he says something. In our Mishnah, we said speaking works only on Shabbos, and Rabbi Meir says speaking only works in the weekday. It's mamash fakir. So basically, let's just do this for a second. It lines up with Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda is perfect, and there's a green box around Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah. They both say, Rabbi Yehuda says what we said in the Mishnah. Rabbi Eliezer is the one that says that Dibur works only on Shabbos. Let's see it inside the Gemara. 4 lines from the bottom. Kufnum Vav Amud Beis. Masnisin Mani Rabbi Yehuda. Our Mishnah goes according to Rabbi Yehuda. The Sanya does not go like Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir Oimer. Rabbi Eliezer Oimer. What does Rabbi Eliezer say? B'chal dvarav kayom. Ashkimrad's words only work during the weekday. Mepnei sheyachal lichtov. Since he could write, so then you have the concept of kol bila, sort of, and bila makeres. Avaloi b'Shabbos doesn't work on Shabbos. Rabbi Shua Oimer, and this we're going to have throughout. B'chol amru. If they said that he could do it in the weekday, kavachomer l'Shabbos. What's Rabbi Shua Spero over here? Slightly different from what we had in the Mishnah. That if a person could write and give away his belongings on a Sunday, yet we said, don't worry about it. You don't have to write it. Just say it. So certainly in a situation where he cannot write, we'll say that he could just say it. On Shabbos he can't write. Fakert. It's the exact opposite logic, he says. If you allow him to get away with just speaking on a weekday, so certainly you should allow him to get away with speaking on a Shabbos. And similarly, and this is similar to what we had in the Mishnah, the same thing we had in the Mishnah. Well, not the same. Sometimes it's back. But we saw this in the Mishnah. Eliezer says that I could acquire something. If I find a $100 bill and I want to be a tzaddik, I want to give it away to my friend, I could do that. I just have in mind, hey, this is a great thing for my friend to have. I am acquiring for him and it becomes his without him even knowing. It doesn't work for a katan. Why? Because a katan is not in the parsha of zechus. Since a katan cannot do it for you, he cannot acquire anything for someone else. You cannot acquire for him. That's Rabbi Eliezer. No, the opposite logic. If I could acquire for another adult who could acquire for himself, he doesn't need me, but I could acquire for him, so certainly I could acquire for somebody that can't acquire at all. No, and this is our Mishnah, Rabbi Yisai, word for word. No, Rabbi Eliezer didn't say that you could do it on the weekday. Only on Shabbos his words work. It's a special hatzlacha because he can't speak, he can't write, so we let him speak. And if he doesn't, what happens if he can't write? He's going to go mishoga, titariv daitoi. Love it, mamish, in the corner. Robert is also coming with us. He's going to be there in Shabbos, in the Shabbaton, with his wife, Bezer Shem. Famous speaker. Jen, what's her name? Jen. So Rabbi Shua says you're allowed to write on the weekday, you're allowed to say and talk on the weekday and on Shabbos, like we said, the entire sugya. This is the reverse of what we said a second ago, but similar to what we'll see. You could be zaycha for a katan, but not for a gadol. This is the reverse of what we said before. If I find a $100 bill, I could give it to a 12-year-old boy, a 10-year-old boy, or a 10-year-old girl. But if I find a $100 bill, I can't give it to an adult. If you could acquire for a katan who's not in the parish of zechus, he cannot acquire for you even if you want to. Why? Because he's a minor. So certainly, if you could acquire for a katan, you could acquire for a gadol. Says the Eli Mishnah, Nafal habayis olav alaviv. Terrible, terrible story. A big tragedy, like in Surfside, where father, daughter, from people, at the same time, the ceiling collapses and they both die. And we have no idea when and how this happened, who died first. Did one outlive the other one by a few seconds? We don't know. In Tov Samach Gimel, there was a big fire that broke out in Posen, and 36 people were nifter. And there was an individual whose wife and children died, and he sat there in the rubble and he said, Rebbeinu Shleimah, if you save me, I'm dedicating my life to Torah. I'm going to start learning. I'm going to start being Mechadish Chidushim. I think he might have been a Talmud Chacham before, but he said, I'm going to write Sfarim. I'm going to go all out. And he found the opening to get. He suddenly looked around. And he said, "Oh, that's what he writes in his sefer, the famous sefer called Pnei Yeshua." He was in one of these. He was in where the house fell down, destroyed. His wife and kids, everybody was gone. But he got out and he went for it. And he said, and he started writing. And the famous Pnei Yeshua that every yeshiva bacher learns. So. Yeah, and it's. I said the story last night, and they said his yahrzeit. The yahrzeit of the story is this week of the story. So, kiss from Hashem also. Not his yahrzeit, the yahrzeit of the story, the yahrzeit of his wife and his children. So the house falls down on him and his father. Olav al Merishov. Not important so much. Another story, but it's the same idea on him and his brother, let's say. He owes money to his wife, or he owes money to somebody. He has a loan. Okay, the guy takes out a loan. He owes $1 million. He owes $100, let's say, on a, what do they call those saws? The saws that you were so into. The chainsaw. He borrowed money from the bank, $1 million from the bank, and as a gift, they gave him a chainsaw. Let's say. But he borrowed $1 million from the bank. Sometimes, you go to the bank, you borrow money, they give you like a toaster. That's what it is? I don't remember that, but toaster. It was like some sort of device, toasters. Open an account, you get a toaster. In this, if you live in Italy, when you open up an account, they give you a chainsaw. You need a chainsaw. That's how it is. Because we woke up in the morning and there's trees everywhere. And they come and they have a whole team. And they just cut the trees because trees fall off the mountain. I'm just saying because Avi was very into it. He's made us stop the taxi and he got out. He's taking pictures. They have special trucks. They grab the tree and it just cuts the thing and then puts it on the whole thing. Okay, anyway. It just so happens to be that I'm just explaining why in this video over here there's a chainsaw. And he explains it, but I explain it better. Here we go. You can make it bigger, yeah.
Look, Father, I got this from the bank as a gift for taking out mortgage.
Isn't it dangerous?
Not at all. Look, it will only work if you hold it with both hands.
There's a suffix who died first. There's a machlokes in the signs on the Pachkevil. One sign says he died first, the other sign says he died. What's the nafkamina? Nafkamina is if the father died first. This could be like a riddle. How is it possible a person is a millionaire for a second? Here, if the father died, and a second later the son died. The father was 6'5", and the son was 5'5". So the ceiling hit the father first in the head, and then later on hit the son in the head, and then so the father died a millisecond first. So that millisecond, we do slow motion. He hits his head. Ooh, the son makes $10 million Yerusha, goes to him, and then a second later the ceiling hits him and kills him. Or no, the opposite. The father was old. He was much weaker, and he died. He died first. The son was weaker. Whatever it is. So it's a big machlokes here between the Yarshim of the father and the Yarshim over here and the Baal Chayv. The Baal Chayv says, listen, we think, we don't know, we're pretty sure what happened was the son died second, and therefore he was a millionaire for a second, and therefore let's take that $1 million from him on the mortgage. The other guys say no. It never went to the father for a second. We're inheriting directly from the grandfather. The father died first. The grandfather died second. So the father never inherited anything. So you, Baal Chayv, get nothing. Or Ubal Chayv owed money. The Yarshim of the father say, we get the millions. Ubal Chayv, and the ones that are owed money, they say, we get the millions. What happened was the father died first, and then the son died. Now, Let's do a chalukah. We don't know what happened. Nobody will ever know what happened unless you had a video camera. You're not going to know. So you do a yachloiku. Now, Beishama usually don't say yachloiku. But over here, they're going to say yachloiku for a very interesting reason. Why? Because there's a concept in Shas called shtar ho'im ligvois kigovidam. A shtar, somebody owes you money, and you have a document proving it. It's as if you already, halachically speaking, you already got that money. So if you got that money, listen carefully, if the father died first, and then the son, you grab that money. The son had $1 million, you grab the money. Why? Because you have a shtar. You become a muhsik on the money. If the father died second, then the Yershim are muhsik because they get the Yerusha. So we have a shayla who's a muhsik. On that case, says Bishama yachloiku. Typically, they won't say yachloiku. In this case, each one has a muhsik. He's a muhsik. We don't say shtar ha'im ligvois kigovidam. So, very good. Mendy told me a kliyaker, got to say it over. It's geshmak kliyaker. He says, why does it say in the pasuk that Esav vayoichal vayesht vayokam vayelach? Hinin yoelach lamos. So he ate, he drank, he got up, he went. Everything is good, but why does it have to say vayelach? He ate, he was drinking, he was hungry, he was thirsty. He got up. What's vayelach? Because we're learning a sugi of shchivmara. So he wanted to prove to him that it wasn't a matana of, he's dying, and therefore it's a matnas bari. And if it's a matnas bari, you can't retract. If it's a matnas bari, you can't retract. So he showed him, I'm not a shchivmara, but I can walk, I'm stark, look at me. Okay, based on our sugi, you understand it. I got to tell you this. We're going to learn a concept that we probably never heard. Shalom Aleichem YY. Haven't seen you in a while. There's a concept, a new concept, just for this it's kedai. If you didn't get one thing out of the sugya, just remember you learned the concept today called the akni. Anybody ever heard of the akni? The akni. What does it mean? Whole sugya today about it. And here we go. Not awesome.
He's going to die. What value is the bachor to me if I'm going to die?
Who? What value is what?
He gets the lentil because he.
You're going into the Kliyaker's pshat?
Because I'm going to die. What value is it? So it said that if he mentions that, then it's choser.
Then it's right. That's a mitzvah machmas misa. But then he went there vayelach and he undid that. That's exactly what he has to do it. I hear you, Kasha. Okay, take it up with Mendy. Says that's why he said it. That's why he did it. But he's asking who said a mitzvah machmas misa. He mentions death and then he runs around on a bike and this and that. That's not mitzvah machmas misa. That's what he's saying. I hear. It's not awesome. A regular loan that there's a document, you should have a document in every shtar. What happens? That is, that every real estate has a lien on it, and a lien means that if you took out $1 million loan and then you sold your apartment, then the bank goes after the apartment. They have a lien on your apartment, they have a mortgage on it. But if you don't have a document, then they have they can't do anything about it. They could go after movable items, but not after real estate. Why? Very simple, because real estate has a call. Everybody knows who owns it, who buys it, who sells it. If there's a loan with a shtar, everybody knows about it through the shtar. The loan, everybody knows about it. So people are careful not to buy real estate from you. If they bought real estate, it's their problem. They might lose it because there's a big loan here, an outstanding loan that people know about. If there's no Edim on it, if there's no shtar, only Edim, then you only go after Bnei Chayrit. And here comes the question. By Shmuel, the ekne v'kona mahu. Here it is. Basically, it's a very, very simple question. This is a question of like, davar shlei haya ba'olam. Think about it. Today, we buy apartments. They have a mortgage on our house, whatever it is. They have a lien on real estate. What happens if after you take a loan from a bank, you acquire more real estate? You got Yerusha, an apartment. Could the bank go after that piece of real estate? That's the question. That's the acne. Something you purchased after the loan, is there a lien on that as well? If you said specifically, you could come after my stuff that I purchased afterwards. You tell the lender, I plan on buying another piece of real estate. I plan on buying this building. I plan on winning the lottery and getting Yerusha, and this building's going to be mine. And then you could go after that building. Does it work or not? It's a question of, really. It didn't happen yet. Here it is in a drawing. On the first day of Nisan, there was a loan. And he even said at that time, he said, the akne. Whatever I acquire in the future. 25 days later, Chafei Nisan, he purchases a piece of property. So the question is, does that property go to the malva? In this case, yes, and it's a question. I'll leave it there, Mayor. Oh, hold on, we didn't get there yet. We don't know if he sold it yet. Right now, he just bought it. I'll leave it there, Mayor. According to a mayor who's throughout Shas, he says that you could sell things that don't exist, or I don't know if this is the best example in the world. Maybe I shouldn't use it, but the oilam is it's happening right now. Kushner married Ivanka Trump, right? So when they were dating, maybe he gave her a ring. He said, "Arei mekudeshesli," on condition that you become a giyaris. Does it work or not? So according to a mayor, it works. It works. That's their whole machlokes is in that case of a giyaris. It works. Why? Because when she becomes a giyaris, it's going to go through. That's other makin davar shalei b'loilam. So according to Rameir, who says, I could sell you something. I could give you a lien on something I don't even have now. I'm going to acquire in the future. There's no shayla that it works according to him. I could do that. I could even get engaged to a woman who's not even Jewish when she becomes Jewish. The vadekana. Certainly the malva has a lien on this property. Elikit the boilach. Where's the question? I'll leave it there. Rabbanon. It's going to be a question according to Rabbanon. The Amri. Ain't another makna davar shalei b'loilam. No. So if Rabbanan say ain't another makna davar shalei b'loilam, so what's the question? Of course it shouldn't work. Why should there be a lien here? He acquired this piece of property a month after the loan. Why should he be able to get a hold of it? No.
Is that a good dogma?
Which one?
Ivanka dogma.
Why not?
Because the person could change their mind. It's not a vadai. It's not like a payrus on a tree that for sure going to come. The person can change their mind and say, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to say it. Why should it work? You can only make a to work on something which is a vadai going to come.
A vadai, the fruit is going to come out of the tree. Vadai.
Yeah.
Wait, we have to really go visit Rabbi Schoenberg. Where is he? I know where he is.
Sure, right? This is like maybe she might.
Okay, so anyways, maybe listen to this part that the Rashbam says. Why is this different? What's the Gemara asking here? According to Rabbanan, no. According to Rameir, yes. So the Rashbam says, I've never heard of such a svara. He says, the karka is in the world. That's what you're saying. Then you're trying to say. No, but you're talking about payers and this that. It's not that. So that's the question. The karka is here. He just didn't purchase it yet. It's very, very possible for him to have it, so it's boil. Okay, but on the same side, listen, he didn't purchase it, so it's not boil. Fine. Omer Rav Yosef Tashmas. So we're gonna have some beautiful examples here. Take us a little bit of a stroll through Shas, different sugyas. Gewaltige story. Yeah, Omer Rav Yosef Tashmas. Look what happened over here. Yeah, look, this is a story. There's a loiv and a malva, okay, that we saw. There's a loan. Look what happens. The loiv goes to the malva after he borrows $1 million from him. He says, oh, by the way, I have $1 million. You want to sell me your house? He got the $1 million from him. He says, hey, I got $1 million. I want to buy the house from you. If he's smart, the malva, if he's smart, he says, of course, take it, buy it. Why? Think about it. He by mistake gave him a loan on Rosh Chodesh Nisan for $1 million and he has zero security. The loiv has nothing to his name, zero. He has a car that's worth $25. How is he going to get his $1 million back? I have a great way he's going to get his $1 million back. Here, I'm going to sell you an apartment for $1 million. Oh, I just got my $1 million back. Now what's the problem? You have my apartment? Now I'm going to come back and take my apartment. The malva is going to be smart and take the apartment back. Does that work, Rabbi Yisai? It only works if the acne works. Because when did the loiva get this apartment? After the loan. But after the loan doesn't count. You can't go collect from an apartment after the loan you see from here that anything you acquire after the loan, the malva could go after. That's called the acne. The acne, something I'm going to purchase in the future. So on the one hand, the loiva says, listen, I'm just saying, I'm explaining the svar behind, adding one little piece. The loiva is saying, dude, if I really owe you $1 million, why did you sell me an apartment? You should have taken my $1 million and just said, okay, the deal's over. Why did you sell me an apartment? Zechus, I already paid you. And he says, no. If I'm smart, the Chacham say, who's really smart, now he has assets and he can go after the assets. So you see, the acne actually becomes a meshubad, it becomes a lien on the loan, the prior loan. Even though he acquired this property after the loan, the property becomes a lien on the loan. Terrible raya. Minei garmers, bring me a raya from this. Minei, when it comes between the loiv and the malva, minei, the loiv himself, I could go after his shirt. We don't have to show this, but whatever, we have it, why not? This guy has superpowers, yeah? I had to change I got emails. It looks like he's wearing a bathing suit, it's not sneeze, okay, fine. I'm serious. So this glima dal kaspe, if you owe money, you're allowed to grab his thing off his shoulder. Okay, I feel me glima dal kati. Ashi never saw this. Of course he saw this. This is an old one, but it didn't leave a big roishim on you. Kikam and bailon. So of course between the loiv and the malva, that's not even a shayla. What is the shayla? Let's change it a little bit. It's the same exact thing, just we're going to add one more step. This is where the question comes. Again, if you owe somebody $1 million, you have a chiyuv d'oraisa to pay back the loan and go through it all the time. It's a big chiddush. Not everybody is aware of this chiddush. And if you own an apartment, lamashal, people hate to hear this, but I'm going to say it berabim again. If you owe somebody money and you own a nice apartment in Ramat B'Shemesh and it's worth $1.5 million, you have a chiyuv to sell it and pay off your loans. Your wife is going to be upset at you, and too bad. That's your chiyuv. You don't like it? Don't borrow money next time. That's how it works. So I could go after you, whatever you have. I could go after your suit. I could go after a piece of property you bought later and after and this and that. Doctrine doesn't work. It's not even a question. So what is the question? That I had a loan, here it is. And then I bought a piece of property. But then I sold the property. That is the question. Could the malva go after a property I sold and bought after the loan? So the Gemara, or I gave it to the Yarshim, that is the question. So what does this have to do with us? Our Mishnah. We're going to go through this quickly. We just learned the Mishnah. The house fell on him and his father. And he owed money to somebody else. Each one is saying that the other guy died first so they could grab the money. And the lender says, the grandfather died first, therefore the son inherited right before the ceiling hit him, and he was a millionaire for a second, and therefore I get the money. Ask the Gemara a bomb question. Think about it. When did the son in the terrible tragedy acquire $1 million? When did he become a millionaire? He became a millionaire a month after the loan. Yishkoyach, a month after the loan, the Baal Chayv can't go after that money. That's called the acne. He acquired new money after the loan. If it doesn't work, even if the father died first and the son became a millionaire for a second, this is money that he only acquired later on in life after the loan. Rav Nachman, you're right, don't bring a raya from there. And if I can knock off Rav Nachman, then I do have a raya from there. Or I have, says Rav Nachman, this is different. Ze'era chavrin tirgama, Ze'era, explain this. Mitzvah l'yisoyim l'froya chavis aviyim. Oh, there's a new halacha. You know why the yisoyim have to pay the lender? Not because the lender has a lien on this money that he acquired right before he died in the what is it called? How do you say my pilots in English?
Collapse.
In the collapse? No, it's a special halacha that a Yosef should pay up his father's debt. Why? Kibud aveim. Kibud aveim, that's it. The Vilna Gaon wants a proof from this Gemara, an amazing thing, that this chiyuv that you have to pay off your father's loans is if your father had money and he left it over to you. And he gave you a little bit of a Yerusha, so you have to pay up other stuff. If he gave you zero, if he's so poor that all he left you is loans, you don't have to pay up his loans. That's his chiddush. Ayin Sham. I think there are those who argue. But I'm a gronik. What?
His money.
No. Once he gives you $100, then you're mechuyev to pay $1,000. Yeah. But if he gives you nothing, that's how I understood the guy. Anyway, real quickly, what? No, that's I hear, but this is Kavadav. It's not Kibudav. Kavadav father.
Come back then.
Yeah.
Pay back his
What? The guy's been dying from this Gemara, not like that. Okay, fine.
Look, you can't even know that if you give me $5 you didn't get anything except the foot.
Where?
Because the Gemara says the father died first. Remember the grandfather?
Yeah.
There's no need to change.
Okay, right, that's fine. No, so that's the right to the goin. It's all. Fine. We're not going. I'm just throwing it out quickly because we only have 4 minutes left to do this and Amud Beis.
And the sponsors.
Yesterday, a guy sends me an email. Motzei Shabbos, a guy sends me an email. He says he's been in this fight with his father. I don't want to give too much information. This is not going to hurt them because nobody knows. He's been in a fight for 3 years with his father, and his father's a big fan of the shir. And his father, he asked his father if I could be the mediator, and his father said 100%. So I made the first phone call. I don't have a lot of time. It actually hurt me a lot because I was preparing for the shir last night and was smacking me with Seder, but I said, I got to do chesed. He said, Zeliyah, Novi, a whole zach. Could you please? So I listened to the people have machlokes with the parents, and it's noirvayim. It's a father. So listen to this story. Because we're talking about Kibbutz Aveim over here. There was a Motzei Shabbos that the German said, pack up your suitcases and go. Everybody gets to bring 1 or 2 suitcases. So the father tells his son, says, you see this shirt? Iron it for me. So he says, listen, iron it? We have to go on the train now, and we have to pack the best stuff. He says, do me a favor, just iron it. And afterwards, he explained to his son, he said, listen, the Germans are not stupid. They know what we're packing. We're packing our gold, our diamonds. And the Kachava, everybody knows about the Holocaust. The first thing they did, they took your suitcases and they went through the suitcases, etc. He says, but one thing that I want to give you is this last mitzvah of Kibbutz Aveim. Go iron my shirt, and that should help you survive the war. Another Gevaldik Ma'aseh is with the Chavetz Chaim, that there was a kid that wanted to go see the Chavetz Chaim. He came to the city and was giving a speech in the shul. Everybody ran to the shul. And the father told the son, do not go to the shul. I don't allow you to go there. It's too dangerous. Too many people, like, what happened by Rav Vosner and Miron. Too many people, it's dangerous. So the kid was very, very disappointed, especially when he found out that the Chavetz Chaim gave the friends, he gave him a bracha of arichas yamim. Many, many years later, his name was Rabbi Klor. It's a Motzei Shabbos with Rabbi Klor from Bnei Brak. Many years later, Rabbi Klor called his mishpach. He said, listen, the last one of my friends that was there by the Chavetz Chaim was nifter now, and I outlived him. So you see from here that the mitzvah of Kibbutz Aveim, where the Torah promises arichas yamim, trumps the bracha of the Chavetz Chaim. By the way, this is a peladic thing. Daf Kuf Nun Zayin in Bava Basra is the daf that the one who brought us here today to Daf Yomi, Reb Meir Shapiro, was nifter on. He was nifter on Daf Kuf Nun Zayin, and his Talmidim said, mitzvah le'isoymim lefroya chayvas avim. There's a mitzvah for the Talmidim to continue on Reb Meir Shapiro's Daf Yomi, so his neshama should have, it's not his yard site, it's the Daf Yomi yard site, like David, that time he's nifter, he's nifter, his Daf Kuf Nun Zayin, they're much different, 7. Mazel Rav Ashi. So Rav Ashi knocks Rav Nachman's Svara over here, and therefore l'chayra we're left with the raya. Mazel Rav Ashi milval pehu. You're telling me midaraisa this Yosef doesn't have to pay anything, nothing. It's just a takana that you should be nice to your father. It's not nice that he left the loans over, but that's a derabbanan. That's not a deraisa. Mazel Rav Ashi milval pehu. So at most you could say this is a loan without a document. Rabbi Shmuel Dam Tervayu milval peh. He shouldn't be able to get anything, not from the Yoshua, not the Luchus. So says the Gemara Daf Kuf Nun Zayin Amud Beis, and we're going to say this over and over 3 times. Elohamani Reb Meiri. We said this before. This is the famous Remeir. There's no raya over here. That what? Remeir says, Adam makna davar shalei b'laylam. Don't bring a raya from over here. I could promise somebody something I don't even have, and I'll owe it to them. Sponsored by, oops, wrong one. And that was a chant last night. Here it is. Oops. This guy. Berkovici family, the zechus klal Yisrael in Glen Esterson, dedicated to Gilad Jacob of Israel. Thank you for bringing the daf into my life. Baruch Hashem. Omer Rabbi Yaakov min Har Pekoid Mishmei de Ravino, Toshma. Shidrich choiv hamugdamim psulim v'amuchorim ksherim. Very, very simple stuff. Typically speaking, when you have a loan, you write on the loan the day that the loan happened. Today, Friday, whatever day it is in Cheshvan, then the Cheshvan, Chav Zayin, Chav Ches, Chav Zayin, Chav Ches, Chav Zayin would be a problem. That would be Mugdam. You have to get the date right. If the date is wrong, it could be problematic, and it could be okay. The what? Here's Shtar Mugdam. We'll just see real quickly. Shtar Mugdam. It goes from right to left. Tishrei comes first. On Adar, 5 months later, the guy sells, the loiva sells something. But the shtar was written in Tishrei. In the beginning of the year, they wrote a shtar that Mr. Loiva owes $1 million to Mr. Malva. What happens when you write a shtar? Your real estate becomes meshubad. There's a lien on the real estate. There's never a loan. It's a big lie. It's a big fat lie. So when the loiva goes and sells this karka to somebody, that somebody should be able to keep that karka forever and ever. Why? Because the loiva never owed money. But he has a fake shtar that says that he owed money. When did the loan happen? In Nisan, a month after it was sold. And now what's going to happen? He's going to go and grab that karka for himself, and it's a lie. So shtar mugdam, when you write the wrong date in it, is possible. But you do a shtar me'uchar when the opposite happens. Look at this. There's 4 steps over. There was a halva, but they wrote the shtar with a later date. Who's that going to hurt? There's only one person that's going to get hurt here, the lender. Because everything that was sold from the time of the halva to the time that it says on the shtar, he can't go after it. So he loses. You want to lose. But the Gemara says, no, there's a bit of a problem. What happens in this situation? Let's see it inside on the chart. If the loiva buys property, and then he writes a shtar, the malva could go after the property. Says the Gemara, but how could the malva go after a property that was bought after the alva? What is that called? The akni. Says the Gemara. I just want to say, not apologize, but explain to anybody that's new to the daf. If it's your first day, your second day, your first week, these are some of the most difficult dafim in Shas. And certainly in Bava Basra, we had a lot of very, very easy stuff. Literally 130 daf. Now, if you started now, if you could do this, you could do all of Shas. Okay? This is easy. This is hard. This is actually harder than usual. Why would this be okay shtar? When did he acquire? Let's just go back to this thing. When did the second step happen? When did he acquire a piece of real estate? After the first step of the halva. So you see that when you acquire real estate after halva, the malva could go after it. Hamani, the answer is, like we said 2 times before, Hamani Reb Meir, the Amar, the Makin Davar Shalei B'Loyla. Let's keep on going if we can. Amar Misharshim Mishmei de Rava. Toshma. L'shevach karkois keitzad. This is Gevaldik. We have a great thing for this, and it makes it very super understandable. Look what happened over here. A malva and a loiva. He gives him the malva gives money to the borrower, so his property becomes, there's a lien on it, there's a chain on it. If he doesn't pay back, he gets the property. What did the loiva do? He sells his property. The malva can now, at this point, go and grab the property if he doesn't get paid. But there's a little bit of a problem. What happened? The loikeach went and improved the property. He built a house on it, he planted trees, he plowed the field that cost money. He seeded the field. It's all money. The malva goes and grabs the field with the house and everything. So what's the halacha? The keren, so let's see inside. He wasn't supposed to sell the field. He's a borrower. The field has a lien on it, but he sold it. And the buyer, he improved it. Then the malva came and took the field with the houses, with the trees. When the malva takes the money, when he comes and he says pay up, I'm sorry, you're right. When the loikeach goes and gets his money back from the borrower, so he goes and he says, borrow, pay me back. He takes the keren, the principal, he takes from property, and on the houses that he improved and he lost, right? The buyer, Mr. Buyer, you see the guy in the middle? He lost, he has nothing now. He improved, he built houses. Where's he going to get the money for the houses? He's going to get it from the borrower, but only from movable items. The question is, how in the world did the malva end up with houses and trees? When did those houses and trees get to the land? After the loan. So you see that even after the loan, he can grab stuff. The acne works. There's a shibur and an acne. Hold on, let's what? After everything, we're talking about after the loan. That's what we're talking about. The acne. He says, I'm borrowing money now, and anything that I have in the future will be mishubah to you. But how could he grab stuff from the future? The house, the trees, they were all planted and built after the loan. That's the acne. If it doesn't work, how could the Bava go and grab it? Rabbi say, before I say have a great day, Motzei Shabbos, 8:32 sharp, 8:30 or 8:32. Have a Shabbos, have a wonderful day.